2016. What a year. What a year for Wales.
I thought you were going to get into tedious observational comedy about what a bad/good year it is.
Oh,
Are you about to?
It's like, lots of people died. Lots of people fucking die all the time. Just more people maybe died this year.
No, more people didn't die this year.
Statistically speaking.
This is the most.
What do you know that we
Has
don't
no
know?
one paid attention that twice as many people died this year than
Who's on
last?
that? Who's
Are we
counting that?
dying?
Who's not showing their numbers? Spain waiting on your numbers?
Thing is, though, at the beginning of the year when the Hellmouth opened, we should have expected this, but no one's making that.
I was still planning for Homecoming.
Yeah. But I'm Gavin Murphy. This is the IGN UK podcast. I'm joined by Daniel Krupa and Joe Screbble.
Sup?
We're going to go through. We've got an awards ceremony for you.
Yes, the IGN UK Podcast Awards.
Ceremony.
And as such, we got champers.
We got champers.
Well,
what else we got?
£5 carver. But
we got £5 carver. We're going to do an Ellen selfie later. We've had the red carpet. I'm wearing a jumper.
I was going to say it's just our two jumpers laid out on the floor.
This is hard.
This jumper is boiling.
Really hot. I'm going to take it off in a bit. It's a lovely jumper though. Merry Chimichangas, it says on it, because Deadpool.
Funny. That's funny. There's a reason they didn't do the chimichanga joke very much in the Deadpool movie.
No one knows what they are.
It's because it's not funny.
I like chimichangas.
They're nice.
Yeah, but I think a lot of people won't know.
What's the difference between chimichanga and...
Here we go. I'm
Yeah,
going to
no,
pop.
it's
I'm going to pop. Oh,
hello. Is this how the Oscars started? 'Cause I never usually watch it.
The first Oscars, yeah. This is what it was like.
Do you see who's
The
hosting
three
this?
Oscars sitting around a
Oh,
table.
who's hosting this year?
The
Like
three
Kimmel or
Oscars.
Fallon? He revealed how much he's getting paid. He's only getting paid like a few grand.
who?
Cheapskates.
More than we're getting paid for doing this.
What? Well,
Before
yeah.
we drunk
But
any.
right now,
some-
that's the
some
thing.
of us.
You've got to start somewhere, lads. Like the fucking
you, Joe.
Razzies and shit. That started somewhere. Halle Berry turned up to them one year. Imagine Halle Berry sitting around. It'd be awkward. It'd be really awkward.
She'd like it.
Well, we're not talking about any of her
I
fucking
think
films.
she's getting the vibe.
So,
Does she still make films?
If she was on, we'd
she
talk.
wouldn't have much to say in this podcast.
If Halle
was
Berry
on,
was on this.
We'd talk about Monsters Ball. I would insist we talked about Monsters Ball.
I talk about one scene from Monsters
Had a
Ball.
big effect on me.
I was trying to think of another scene from Monsters Ball
I've never
to make that joke.
Never watched it.
And it's just like,
To be fair,
I'd be like,
I don't think you've
the
seen.
courtroom
I don't
scene.
think you've seen Monsters Ball in its entirety. I think you've seen a 3-minute clip hosted on another website.
and yet I've watched more of Monsters Ball than there is a running time.
Yeah. Okay, so 26. Like, you can go anywhere on the internet, and you can go to IGN to like figure out our best films, our best TV, or the best games of the year, which we've all decided. But we've got some alternative awards this year for different shit that we've enjoyed or not enjoyed. Because you put something in, I thought you didn't enjoy. But there we go. We'll come to that.
Well, exactly.
I'm going to kick things off with the I'm definitely not cool enough to be watching this award.
Yep.
And that goes to the TV show Atlanta.
What a show it is. Have you finished it yet?
No, I haven't.
Oh my god.
Because I'm not cool
you're not
enough
cool
to watch
enough.
it.
I was.
Not cool enough to bloody watch. This jumper's coming off.
Here he goes.
Because I feel like that show, that there's like a clip that came out for that show.
Oh god, yeah.
Which was like a split screen kind of like, it's like a taster for what the show is going to be.
was
But
a-
it's kind of like a short film in itself.
It was a mood palette.
Yeah, and I think it's cut to that Tame Impala song that I really associate with that song now.
I don't even remember it.
Same old person, but make all the same mistakes. I'm going to take 50 minutes to take this jumper off. What I should have done is taken it off during somebody else's thing, but I feel like I'm going to be too hot by the time that happens. But anyway, Atlanta. So it's directed, written a lot by Donald Glover, which is really good.
And that music video director,
And the
whose
music video
name
director.
I can't remember. Someone Murai,
Yeah.
who's apparently fantastic.
But it's it's kind of like a drama, it's like a 30-minute drama comedy set in Atlanta with like just weird shit going on.
Yeah.
But like really, it kind of feels brave. It feels like a shite thing to say brave. But like, there's an entire episode which is like basically...
No, you know the definition of brave in 2016 is removing an Apple headphone jack. That was the definition of brave. That's a new level of brave. Because it used to be like sacrifice in war situations and
Yeah.
stuff.
Not now.
Not now.
But yeah, there's an entire episode, like a concept episode, which is like a talk show, and then in between the talk show, you get these adverts.
Oh god, yeah, I forgot
going
about the
on.
adverts.
Yeah, and also that comes out of nowhere, and it's not like it's not even bookended by the show. It's literally just like it's just a fucking thing.
You're watching a half-hour talk show set in the fictional universe that is Atlanta, and with the rapper Paperboy.
Yeah, you watch 4 episodes, and then you get an episode with like a sort of ancillary character who's kind of been in it, like the lady episode.
Yeah, she's a complete side character until that point, and then it's an entire episode focusing on her. Just and what her... Because I suppose, like... Do you remember when Breaking Bad was on, and people tedious fuckheads used to complain that Skylar White was a really annoying character?
Yes.
Like, it almost seems like it was designed to counter that, because she's constantly getting on Donald Glover's back and trying to
really annoyingly so as well.
Belittle him.
Yeah.
And you kind of feel like she's a foil in some way for his his crap life.
Yeah.
And then you get this one whole episode where you're like, oh shit, she's got it really bad.
Yeah.
Like, it's horrible for her. And it completely changes her.
You kind of just go, she's the best character.
Yeah. And it's bang on halfway through the series. So you suddenly have this like fresh opinion of her afterwards.
Yeah.
So clever. Like, just amazingly inventively written. And like you said, you pointed this out really early on, that it feels like it's set in the real world, not TV world.
Absolutely.
Like, their use of social media all makes sense. Like, everything feels current.
Social media is one of the things, when it appears in TV, you can spot it when it's like just off.
Yeah.
Like, so often it's just like it stinks.
Absolutely.
It's written by someone who doesn't actually quite understand it.
Yeah, like social media and technology, I always feel like I think like there's a really famous bit in like Sherlock, which is like, that's obviously written by an old man. Because it's just like, he calls phones camera phones. And it's just like, what are you doing?
Jesus
like, whereas this
Christ.
in this, there's an entire sort of subplot to one episode where a guy is having like Snapchat beef. But it never feels like sort of crowbarred in, because anytime someone says like Facebook or Snapchat or something like that, it kind of feels like it's been crowbarred in by someone who doesn't understand what that is, or doesn't understand what that medium is. Whereas this feels like it's done by people
who are cool,
who live
smart.
in that thing.
People are
That's
cool.
Too fucking cool. That's
Hashtag Zan life.
Yeah, they're too cool.
Hashtag Zansexual.
I don't feel cool enough to even start this season.
You should. You'd really like it. It's
because that's the thing.
It's sad.
The only thing is as well, right? He's meant to be kind of like a loser, but he's also one of the most beautiful looking losers in the fucking world.
Just so cool
Tom
and
Holland
so funny.
Tom Holland, Peter Parker, is it?
Yeah.
Say what you like about what was the first one called? Tobey Maguire. He at least looked like a fucking dweeb.
For a second, I forgot I'd taken my jumper off, and I was going to take my jumper off again.
Do it.
Imagine if someone tuned in that uncorked on the table. Welcome. This is my award ceremony.
We get off, like, we go Christmas Day, open it up, emails from Pear.
You're all fired.
Get out.
Fired.
But yeah, I'm going to give that award. I mean, essentially what we're doing is we're going through our favourite movies, TV shows and games, but without calling it that.
And it's also not bringing up all the, well, apart from
Stuff
one, really obvious stuff that we always talk about. Because it's more interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, I can see which one.
Has to make an appearance.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's I'm definitely not cool enough to be watching this award, which goes to Atlanta. Joe?
Yes? Do I get to choose?
Yeah. Anything you want,
I'm going to choose the game most likely to make you have a panic attack in front of people you've forgotten existed because of sheer groove. And that goes to Thumper.
Excellent.
So the best... like, I've talked about Thumper on here before. I think it's one of the best games of the year. I think it's, like, bafflingly good. I don't understand how it was ever made by 2 people. I don't understand why the guy from Lightning Bolt is making games in the first place. Everything about it makes no sense. The moment at which I was like, this game is just unbelievable, is one night, as we often do, drunkenly stayed behind to play games in the office. Yeah. And you'd stayed for a bit, but I think you'd left by this point. I was pissed out of my mind. We were showing VR to one of Alicia's friends.
Oh, yeah.
And
I remember that night.
Yeah, and
that's something really.
Yeah, I don't know what you. I don't know what you remember about that night. No, I don't.
Because you just said you'd left, and you were like, "Oh, I remember that night." How?
It was one
you
of the,
left.
Killed a tramp on the way home.
I remember that. Yeah, that's the thing. I stayed just enough so like everyone else was drunker around me. So when the police called, they were like, "What was Gav doing last Friday?" They were like, "Oh, he stayed with us. Like he was with us playing VR for ages."
In the corner. He was in the corner. Yeah.
That gives me a fucking get out of jail free card.
Nice.
So I know what I'm doing, lads.
So we were showing VR to one of Alicia's friends, and I eventually went, "Oh, you should have a look at Thumper. Thumper's great."
Yeah.
Not really remembering that it is still a really hard game, even
solid,
in VR.
Yeah.
Especially if you're pissed.
Exactly. So I was like,
yeah.
so when they lost, I was like, give it to me, come on. So I just sat there playing it, and I kind of played it for a bit and was really happy, and I was kind of getting into it, and I was properly like grooving away, getting into the, like, I really find myself like turning the corners with it, which I haven't done since I was playing like Tokka Racing when I was a kid. And suddenly I felt this tap on my shoulder, and Alicia's like, oh, we're going to shoot off.
It's Monday morning.
And I was like, okay. And she's like, yeah, you've been playing for 20 minutes. And I'd just been in one level of Thumper, just fucking like grooving so powerfully.
It's like Monday morning. Just like, all right.
Yeah, perfectly awake. It's
like only for the hardcore UK ravers. Like, are you all right, Joe?
But yeah,
this is what Trainspotting 2 is going to be. It's just Joe sat on a chair
playing Thumper.
20 years later, it's still there.
Yeah,
there's two things about
Joe,
Thumper.
you baby.
It's like like, you know, when people talk about
and it's
virtual
a little
reality,
chrome beetle.
People talk about virtual reality and they like make a joke and they go, oh, like Lawnmower Man. It is like Lawnmower Man. It's exactly like Lawnmower Man.
There's a giant evil head that comes screaming at your face.
So one,
that's the future I wanted.
It is like Lawnmower Man. But two, it's the only VR game I've played. Like, you know when you watch those fucking videos online that always go viral of like jabronis going, whoa! And shit like that when they're playing. Or fucking Wash's Chops, the snooker player falling over. Ronnie O'Sullivan falling over.
That is funny though.
When you watch those videos of those jabronis and you're like, grow up.
Yeah.
Like, get a fucking handle on yourself. Thumper's the only game that's made me go, whoa! Whilst playing it in by myself.
I'm flying at 200 miles per hour.
Oh, we didn't film it. Yeah. We could have had one of those videos.
Content.
Could have had that.
I could pay for our Christmas pie.
Yeah.
Or a snooker table at least.
Instead we're doing this.
Drinking £5 carver in the evening.
And a big Corona.
I mean, yeah, a big Corona. Yeah, so
there's too much to say about Thumper. But it's the only time where I've actually fully lost myself in a game and had no idea.
The award for game most likely to make you have a panic attack in front of people you've forgotten existed because of sheer groove goes to, of course, Thumper. Daniel?
My first award is for the best film about xenolinguistics and nonlinear phenomenology you'll ever see.
Yes.
And it is Arrival, Denis Villeneuve's Arrival, which...
Best film of the year. Apart from Popstar, Never Stop, Never Stopping.
Quite up there.
That's barely a film.
I started doing a thing this year where if it's a film like we don't have to watch trailers far for work, so like a Marvel movie, a DC movie, I've stopped watching trailers. Mm-hmm. So I knew next to nothing about this movie before me and Joe went to see it, and I was just breathtaking. And also to then think this guy is the guy who's going to like direct the next Blade Runner movie.
Yeah, that's
and after seeing this, like, yeah, all right, I'm on board for that.
That's it. I don't like Blade Runner, so I had no interest in it.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, well, it's a Denis Villeneuve movie, so I better go see it.
I just thought it was a brilliant procedural sci-fi movie. It's the best movie of... Because it's almost like it's a good companion piece. It'd be a good double bill with the first Independence Day. So it's aliens landing and hovering over global locations.
Yeah.
And this is more like, what will we do procedurally? How will we study them? How will we make contact?
Yeah.
And it goes down into like weird details about studying their language, which is fascinating. But when you first see that in the movie, you think, oh, that's kind of just a good bit of like design and it's a good bit of padding. And you realise suddenly that's central to the entire movie.
Yeah.
It's the whole point of the movie. And to have a movie that turns upon grammar as a massive like language nerd, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And
Who's
also,
bringing up Sapir Whorf in a blockbuster? Yeah. Like, it's unbelievable.
But then they do amazing things with it where grammar is fucking boring. It sounds boring, even though I'm interested. But they make it emotional. They make that into an emotional plot point. That is brilliant. And also Jeremy Renner's not shitting it.
Yeah, that's really good.
So what's more surprising...
Well,
I'm just glad he's not saying sexist stuff anymore.
The thing that I really liked about it is just like, I think the as you say, like the central idea of it is because all these. So if you haven't seen it, 12 alien pods arrive in 12 different cities, and I really like the idea that basically all these different 12 countries or 12 cities are working together, but also kind of working separately as well to try and sort of communicate with them. So it's all about that. So it's like, I love the idea of different countries in different ways trying to communicate with them. And I think like the really cool bit where there's so many bits in the film where you just go,
a big part of the movie is the concept that is quite widely recognised in linguistics is language determines consciousness.
Yeah.
So the way that you process the world is the way that your mind works. So Native American Indians have a different past tense than we do. So for them, the past is also kind of present.
Yeah.
So that's why their ancestors that have died kind of live on as spirits, but in kind of a practical sense.
You know, they don't know if the ancient Greeks could see the colour blue.
Yeah, I do know that.
Because they always describe
Right,
the,
like, as
the
wine.
sea as wine dark.
Yeah, in like Homer and stuff.
Amazing.
But also, plot point in that movie is
Yeah.
some of the nations on Earth
Yeah.
use a certain lexicon to describe interaction that means friendship is beyond their comprehension, because
Absolutely,
they
yeah,
immediately
yeah.
put it in terms of a winner and loser.
Absolutely, yeah.
And the way that the word tool can also mean weapon.
Yeah.
Like, that movie is fantastic. And it's also heart-wrenching. And it's kind of weird to say, like, it's Nolan-esque, but it does that thing that I like, where the end of the movie kind of reconfigures in this beautiful way. And you're like, oh. And I think saying twist is... It's
Fuck, no,
misleading
it's not
and
a
twist,
twist,
but it's
yeah.
for want of a better word for most people. It's this
Yeah.
moment where it kind of just turns, like the literary term, like an epiphany.
Yeah.
Where you see the movie more clearly, and you're like, something beautiful happened there.
It's like a turn of the lens.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just everything suddenly comes into focus.
That's a really good way
And you
and
see
also
describing it.
and the-
everything just goes bam.
Yeah.
And the human moment clarity and the human reaction is you sat next to me going, "You fucking beautiful bastard."
I'm like,
And Gruber going, "Da-da-da-da-da."
As people from Empire go, "Shh, lads, come on now,
Yeah.
bit of respect."
no, like
Shut up, if people at Empire, they would turn up a fucking hour late coming in.
That wasn't them.
Well, it doesn't matter.
Journalism, facts do not matter.
no.
Because if 2016 we exist in a post-true
Nah, to be
society.
fair, I didn't like their Rogue One review, so that's what that was about in my head. So it's because it's shite. So the award
Here
for
we go.
best film by Xenia linguistic and nonlinear phenomenology goes to
Arrival.
excellent. So my next award
all right, this is coming off.
goes to the video game which most resembles the inside of my guts, and that award goes to
Minesweeper.
Inside.
Are we getting into spoiler territory
Yeah,
with that?
fuck it.
I don't think we can.
Really? What's the moratorium on that? Like, come on.
That feels good.
Can't I just spoil...
No, I think you were really good about Arrival.
No, we
Spoiler
didn't.
Arrival,
We
then.
didn't
Not
spoil
the
Arrival.
biggie.
No, I need to see that clock. Now, for the next 10 minutes, I don't know what time it is.
Fine. But
Does-
we'll be going
We lost time.
Literally.
Draw comes in, draws a big X across the table.
Isn't that strange, though? Like, I literally don't know what the time is now. For 10
Just to
No,
clarify
for
for people
10
listening,
minutes.
me and Joe throw our jumpers on the clock.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, for the next 10 minutes, like, anything is possible.
Do you know what I've just thought?
I didn't start drinking that early.
Yeah.
Like,
Did new X
That is
Files?
a weird conversation.
Did new X Files come out this year?
Yeah, it did.
Jesus, we should have an award for how shit that was.
well, no, because this is all. I mean, it's pretty much like
I
positive
always
stuff.
thought like
isn't
my
it?
I know.
favourite things.
Yeah, which I really like. So yeah, the game
I'm
which
not.
most resembles the inside of my guts is Inside. So basically, like, I broke up with a girl, which if you've listened to this podcast, you know a lot, and you know a lot about.
Yes.
Because I mention it every 2 seconds. But I basically broke up with a girl. 2 days later, or 3 days later, I started playing Inside because everyone was going on about it. So I was like, okay, I'll lock myself in my room and be sad and play Inside. And it was just like pretty much a black and white game. Is it black and white? No.
Black white. Well, it's
In my head, it's fucking black and white.
It's like muted
with
yeah.
with
yeah.
bright reds.
But yeah, I mean, it's a really dark game, and there's no dialogue, there's no like narration or anything like that. You got to unpack the story for yourself, but with these puzzles and stuff, you have absolutely no idea what's going on. And it was also I played it early enough, so there was no guides or anything like that out there, that was a big part of it because there was so much of it that I was like there's a couple of points where I was just like, this is broken.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was very well done.
See, no, I was like, this is broken in the sense of like I've got an early version. There's a
Seriously?
there's a glitch. Yeah, there was a couple of points. There was one bit where I was like I was so stuck. I was just like, it's a glitch. It must be a glitch.
Both of me and Cooper are casting glances at you, like, no.
No, but also, I'm just
Who's this
imagining
guy?
this sensitive situation you were in. You
Absolutely,
were
yeah.
you were in a sensitive place.
This is what,
locked in
guys,
your own room.
This is what I'm saying. The game which most resembles the inside of my guts. I was like, there's a glitch. There's a glitch in my life.
Oh, come on.
There's a glitch in this.
There's a small Scandinavian boy searching for truth.
But like there was one bit where I was like so stuck that I was just like, it must be a glitch. But then I was just like, it's the actual thing for it is so simple, and you click with it, and you're just like, oh, you idiot, that's fine. And the elation that I felt from clicking with it, I was just like, maybe everything's gonna be alright.
Oh, that's so nice.
And that's why it's the game which most resembles the inside of my guts.
It's also very interesting that you brought up puzzle solving as the thing, because I think
Yeah.
amidst there is a very surprising ending and it's an amazing kind of story that you're trying to piece together.
Yeah.
People just forgot it was a like a fantastic puzzle game.
Absolutely,
like,
yeah.
Such a good puzzle game.
Like
Yeah,
that.
this doesn't recycle ideas heavily.
Beautifully
at all.
well drawn, like gives you new ideas. Yeah, exactly. As you say,
the thing.
like you'll just get one section of like, here's a mechanic.
Yeah.
Right, it's gone. Like here's a submarine for a bit for no reason at all.
Especially if it's a 3-4 hour game.
Yeah.
If you're repeating ideas in that, you need more
boring,
meat.
yeah.
Go back to the drawing board.
Reminds me of one of the best recent indie games of all time, which makes no sense as a sentence, but Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons, which did the same
haven't
thing.
seen that.
Oh
I
my
haven't
god,
played
it's
that.
genuine.
Yeah.
This, like one of the best games I've ever played,
Yeah.
and it does the same thing where it's just. Not only is it Scandinavian, beautiful, heartbreaking, it's also got
They've
that
got that
thing
down,
where
haven't they? The
they're very good.
Scandinavians.
We need to keep an
Well,
eye
you know,
on
like in recent years, like the Scandinavia like output across different media is really like
They get
it's
it.
banging.
Do you think anyone
but-
Scandinavian is
but-
listening to this and going like, literally, we've been doing this for fucking 10 years. It's only because of Killing came out. Now you're looking up
Yeah.
over here. Going,
No, like so many
all
stuff.
right, they're doing
saying
good
that,
stuff.
saying
You
that.
think they're pissed off about that?
saying,
Maybe they're not just eating fucking ice, chalk ices all
No,
day.
it's
Chalk ices and killing themselves.
Because like, I was just going to say another thing that in recent years, like
Those
they're
chalk ice.
world renowned for is chalk ice. No, in recent years, one of the things they're really well renowned for is food. Like so many 3 Michelin star restaurants are in like Denmark and Sweden. And the other day I was watching Rick. This is a bit of a tangent. I was watching Rick Stein, who had like a weekend break in Copenhagen, and their whole food philosophy is like they go foraging and stuff.
Yeah.
It looked fucking disgusting. there was one that's like
What
me and my girlfriend were watching it, and he was describing this meal to Rick Stein, who was eating it, and he goes, "Yes, the green stuff on the top is last year's pea flour."
Is it?
What?
Well done, Rick.
Last year's pea flour. That sounds fucking gross, mate.
Moss, just eating moss.
Yeah.
I went to. This is another tangent, but you're having it. I went to Australia.
obviously.
I went to Australia once and went to Rick Stein's restaurant because I was like, oh, we should totally go to Rick
There's
Stein's
one in
restaurant. Yeah,
Australia.
yeah.
Is he
So it's
keeping an
like-
eye on that?
So it's like we'll go here. Went there and we walked in. They were like, oh, sorry, we're all fully booked, and we were like, oh. That's annoying because like the people I was with, like, well, I live in England as well. It's like
I know,
oh,
Rick.
I was like, oh, we've come all the way from England, where obviously Rick has most of his restaurants. They were like, oh my god, 2 seconds, and they were like, yeah, table 10 minutes later.
I don't understand the logic of this.
First up, what made you think that was going to work? Secondly,
Oh, yeah, I've
what
been
are
to
these damaged
Padstow.
people?
yeah, I remember Chalky's little dog before he
What
died.
made me think it was going to work is I always think the shit I say is going to work, and
insane.
80%,
But that's
80%
but also
of the time it does.
But also, I would say that's the reason it works rather than the content of what you say.
Yeah, well, that's
because the way I say it.
that's
Yeah,
that-
the confidence. But like,
yeah.
it's a marriage. It's not
That's-
one or the other. But
That's
the
that
fact
thing
that you believe it.
where Darren
I'd
Brown
say-
gives people bits of paper and says it's money.
This is the
Yeah.
winning form.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. I am Rick Stein.
I am. Rick.
Okay,
I
so-
am Chalky the
Wait,
dog.
one more tangent. Have you seen that video of Rick Stein using a mandolin?
Yep.
So funny.
I haven't.
Do you know what kind of
See
mandolin?
that?
Do you know what kind of mandolin is on about?
No.
The
As in, like,
slicing.
slicing
Oh,
one.
really?
It's like
Yeah.
a super sharp grater, and it's him talking about how.
he was playing.
So what you did, it's like slicing like that, and it
Yeah.
slices incredibly thin. And he's talking about how dangerous it
Yeah.
is, and how only professional chefs should use it.
Oh,
and he's just talking about this, and suddenly he just goes, "Ah, fuck!"
They're like super dangerous. Like you could take your whole finger off.
It's so
It's the thing they
funny.
use to like slice meat and shit, right?
and like no, like really
It's
like
similar to
fine
that, but,
vegetables.
like-
It's the same principle.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so funny.
So
yeah.
the
And
dramatic
then it cuts
irony of
back
it.
to him with a big blue plaster on.
Okay, so the game which most resembles the inside of my guts
It's Rick Stein.
is Rick Stein's inside. Krupa, I'm going to go to you next. Mix it up.
Okay, so I'm gonna go for my TV show.
Okay.
So it's the best show on TV that no one ever talks about or raves about, but secretly it's the best. And it's The Americans on FX. So in a year of like, that's the thing that happens with TV more than anything, I think. Like people like really hype it. Like Westworld, people really hype.
That's
like,
my fucking head in.
Like the new show is like, are you watching it? You watching it? Yeah, well, I watch loads of stuff. But are you watching it? And it gets
Yeah.
like, it gets unbearable. But no one
It is
ever talks
unbearable.
about The Americans. If you
'Cause
go,
people are fucking boring, man.
and like, I know Metacritic obviously is not the be all and end all, but like in the last 4 years, Americans has been the highest rated show on Metacritic for the last 3 or 4 years.
Really?
Yeah, it's or at least
Guaranteed,
top
like
2 or 3.
when it gets to the last series, is it the last series yet?
No.
Guaranteed when it's like that, fucking BuzzFeed will do some kind of
like Breaking Bad
thing about it,
it's like the
and
thing,
everyone will start
wasn't
bombing it.
immediately. So
It'd be like The Wire. Everyone's like, "Oh, you've seen The Wire?"
it's just great, and
Wire's fucking amazing.
I started watching. Like I'm not even up to date, but I started watching it for the first time this year because I just ran out of stuff to watch, and I got an Amazon Prime subscription. It's all on there.
Yeah.
and it's fantastic. Like, production on it's amazing.
So
So,
what is
the,
it?
the setup
you should talk
is
about it.
there's a husband and wife
Yep.
in the 80s in America. They lived just outside of Washington, and they're both travel agents, but they're also secretly Russian spies.
What?
Whoa. So it's kind of like, you know, it's very good on a week by week basis because they do missions.
Do they have fun scenes where like the boss comes over for dinner and the wallpaper keeps falling down and it's got like big pictures of like Putin on the
Lenin.
back?
When
Just
you
like-
like the boss goes over there, I was thinking about Third Rock from the Sun with a big giant head.
Exactly.
No, it's like, what are we having for dinner? Borscht? No. Fried chicken?
Definitely not Bosch.
Definitely not going to catch me like that, are you? But
Gesundheit.
that's actually quite early on. Their next door neighbour does work for the FBI.
What?
So, I know. It's a bit of a contrivance, but actually it works pretty well.
Yeah.
So it's really good on an episode by episode basis because they do missions. But they've also got like 2 kids.
Yeah.
And
American kids.
yeah, they were born in America.
Are they the actual kids?
They're their actual kids.
Russian
and
blood,
also
American
these
heart.
2 secret
Right.
agents who are married, like early on, like they're just together. They weren't in a relationship before they moved to America.
Shit.
So that's a big dynamic in the show, is the fact they don't really love each other, but they've had to like sleep together and have
Who is it?
kids.
It's Kerry Turner.
And Matthew Reese.
I like him.
So do I.
Of course you do.
And Frank Langella in it as well.
Is he?
of it, yeah.
I didn't know that.
So that's superb. But also there's the overarching thing of like what they're trying to do on a bigger sense.
Right, okay. Which is what? So they're baddies.
They're baddies, but you really like them.
Yeah.
Because they
To be fair, though,
they
like
fully
baddies in
believe
America, that's fucking...
That's the thing, they
yeah.
fully believe what they're doing. And it's like
They're all bad.
everyone's doing bad shit. But they
In America.
But you obviously spend all your time with them. So
Yeah.
you're kind of rooting for them a lot.
Do the kids know that they're spies?
No.
It sounds like all the bits from Mad Men that actually sound good, but that I'll never watch because I have to watch the
it's
rest
got
of
the
Mad
kind
Men.
of it's got a sense.
Mad Men's amazing.
It's
Mad Men's
right.
so
So
boring
it'd be
soap
way
opera.
too much to say it's as stylish as
Joe,
Mad Men.
let's not
No show is quite as stylish as Mad Men, but it has a lot of style to it. But it's also very exciting as well. Like it balances the drama and excitement really well because there's a lot of action in it. But it's quite and it's some fucking hard stuff as well. Like it's not light. Like it's like a 15-18. Like there's scenes of torture, but like they're also killers. They go murder people. They took the kids in and like, oh, we're just popping out for a drink.
How much
and they
full
go off and
frontal
kill-
male
There's a lot of
nudity
nudity in it.
Is there? Male?
Yeah, because a lot of the way that they coax information out of people. 'cause
Get their
they-
dicks out.
It's like sleeping with people, but they like so they all have like.
Matthew Reese is going like, where are the
I'll
codes?
show, I'll show you. I'll show you it.
All right, all right.
Got Motherland written down it.
I'll put a bowl of sweet up it.
What's that?
I just had a friend who once did.
What? Wait, stop the podcast.
I want to get
Right,
off.
explain everything about your friend putting a boiled sweet up his dick.
Well, it's no.
It's all right. You've got another couple of seconds before I know what time
Time
it
it
is.
is.
So.
This is good.
Yeah. Although
no,
we're also in a
used to-
situation
used to
now
take-
where
used to take
you know
bets.
what time it is and I don't know what
You
time
used to
it
take
is.
bets on how many boiled sweets you could get up it.
How many?
Yeah.
They're big.
I mean, multiple.
Or a sarsaparilla drop.
What's that?
Anyway,
That's gonna-
You never had a sarsaparilla drop?
Oh, they're very
cough
nice.
drop.
Tastes like root beer.
Do you not like sarsaparilla?
I love it.
Sarsaparilla is brilliant.
Is it like
Not after it's been up.
anyway?
We're talking more about that later.
The Americans.
Yeah, it's exceptional. You should watch it.
I'm gonna.
So that's the award for best show on TV that nobody ever talks about or raves about, but is secretly the best. The Americans. Joe, your second award. What's it going to?
I'm going to go with Guiltiest Laughter,
Okay.
which goes to the short-run comedy series Flowers
Excellent.
on Channel 4, which no one really talked about, but is
No.
incredible. So it's Julian Barrett and Olivia Colman, both amazing, at being sad people, but with the funniest family dynamic. So their son is... Who's that guy that played Eric Morecambe in the Morecambe and Wise... They did like a biopic of them. He was incredible as Eric Morecambe, like just exactly the same person. It's him as like this baffling idiot inventor,
Yeah.
and then there's sort of Kate Bush like mad daughter, and just this broken family trying to deal with everything. The first episode starts with Julian Barrett's character trying to kill himself and failing, and his mother seeing, and then essentially everything comes from this, like him just desperately trying to cover up the fact that he's suicidally depressed in his family.
Right.
But his family's, everyone is hilarious.
It's a comedy series.
It's a comedy series.
Is it shot like a sitcom, or is it like a really offbeat sitcom, or is it more kind of like...
It's got really, really strange, like funny, like absurdist elements, but it's shot like it's a drama. So it's got some of what Atlanta has, where you're kind of watching and watching, and then
Channel 4, right?
yeah,
Okay, cool.
and then something happens, and you just go, shit, right?
Yeah.
That's really weird. So the guy who wrote and directed it, I think he's called Jamie Sharp. Plays their Japanese manservant. He is part Japanese, so it's fine. But but the reason, like,
We're gonna get the guiltiest laugh.
well, this is it. The guiltiest laughter is, number one, you're laughing at essentially a man who wants to die constantly.
Yeah.
And also, his, like, very, in anyone else's hands, definitely racist portrayal of a Japanese manservant. He is so funny. I cannot explain to you how good he is. And just, like, you're just constantly feeling terrible.
How racist is it?
Like, if one of us was to do an accent.
So, like, a thing that...
Because it's not racist, because he is Japanese.
It didn't make the cut. It didn't make the cut this year because we've also got
racist.
We've got a couple of like last awards for best things ever, and it didn't make the cut, but because it was last year, but it would have. Is a Comedy Bang Bang.
Oh my God, the call to China.
Where Comedy Bang Bang pretend that it's basically the cast of.
It's Thomas Middleditch.
Yeah.
Pretending to be
Chinese.
the physical embodiment of China.
Yeah.
On the phone to the sum of Comedy Bang Bang and Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
Is that racist?
It is funny, but
I think it is quite
I
racist.
showed it to a girl, and she went, "That's one of the most racist things I've ever heard."
And like it's.
And I didn't realise it was racist.
No,
until
and
she
neither
said
did
that.
I. And then it was telling that when we played it,
in the office,
and someone in the office of Asian extraction was there.
Yep.
we
were
did
very
feel
self-conscious.
really
Yeah.
bad.
Did we?
Well,
I don't know if
you
you were
weren't
there.
there, Gav, so you're all right. And then we played it very loud in the office one
I'm not
night.
racist.
And
All right, well, that's the award for guiltiest laughter then.
You've got to watch
to
Flowers. Also Fleabag.
Flowers and Fleabag, that's really good. Yeah.
Watch Fleabag too.
all the
Okay,
Fs.
my last award is going to best use of a box cutter. And that's for Green Room.
Yeah.
Still haven't seen it.
In memory of Anton.
Yelchin as
Yelchin?
well, yeah.
God, I forgot
It's
he was
one of
in
his last films. It's generally, I think it's probably my favourite film of the year. But that's not the award it's getting. It's getting the best use of a box cutter.
You seen Joe?
I haven't.
There's a use of a box cutter.
That's
in
fine.
there.
It's not going to stop me watching knowing
also,
how someone gets hurt.
Yeah.
Very small part. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's also a brilliant point. It's not a spoiler. Like,
It's so basically
what a brilliant film that is.
a horrible, like a shitty hardcore band. They go to play basically like a neo-Nazi club. They don't realize they
Timing,
get
it's like miles
Yeah.
from nowhere. It's like in the middle of a forest.
yeah.
It's maybe from Arrested Development, isn't it?
Yeah, and they're like a tour. They're a touring punk band, and they go to this place and they realize it's neo-Nazis, and it's like a really weird scene where they play like they realize what it is, and I think they play a song which is like Nazi skinheads fuck you.
Yeah, it's the Dead Kennedy song, isn't it?
Yeah.
Nazi punks fuck off or
That's
something.
right. Yeah. So they play that straight away, but then there's like it's kind of weird because they kind of win the crowd back over a little bit because they play like a really really cool hardcore song.
Okay.
And it's like it's shot beautifully as well. It's just the guy who did Blue Ruin, yeah, which I think is one of the best films like in the last 10 years maybe. It's so good.
I know you like that film so much.
I love it so much. But yeah, it's the same guy who did that, and he shoots like really dark, horrible stuff. But there's a scene where they're playing music, and I can't stand any of the music in the film. It's not for me at all, like absolutely not. But there's a scene where they play a song, and they kind of win the skinheads over, and it's shot so lovely, like considering it's like a disgusting neo-Nazi club.
They win over the skinheads and Gav.
Yeah, and but then basically for reasons that you'll see, they get stuck in the green room in this bar, and
Patrick Stewart turns out.
then it becomes like
an
kind of
escape
like
movie.
it becomes like an escape or like siege movie.
I love
kind
it.
of
It's
thing,
like it's a one location movie.
Yeah.
They're stuck in this like rock club and they have to get out.
Yeah, and it's like this. It's really good because it kind of plays on like the sort of tropes of like an escape movie as well. But there's a really really good girl in it who's actually in Pop Star Arrival as well. She's Ashley Wednesday.
Actually, so cool.
Ashley Wednesday.
Yeah. And basically, like, she completely like fucks over any trope as well. Because anytime they try to get like really corny, she messes it up, which I think is really really good. But yeah, there's also like she uses a box cutter in a very interesting way.
Is it?
I saw her in a full cinema, like a really small screening room as well. So maybe like 100 people, and like 3 people walked out.
Jesus Christ.
Like, it's
Also, there's another bit in that movie which is equally as
there's
tough.
this is some fucking
There's
tough shit
one
in
in
that film,
particular that I was thinking of that. I was in a tiny screen with like 20 people, but I imagine people walking out of the other bit.
Absolutely, yeah.
I was watching it with 5 people, so
No one walked out because they were psychos.
I watched it in PSVR, and now I am the film.
But yeah,
I am the green room.
I am the green room. But yeah, so my award for the best use of a box cutter, which is essentially what my favorite film is. My favorite film of the year is Green Room. Joe,
yeah.
your final award, please.
Best new, completely unnecessary post-Marvel cinematic universe inception goes to 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Boom.
A film which was A-OK and not a lot more.
I didn't think you liked it.
I liked it. It was just like it didn't do everything I wanted it to do for me. But
To be fair, I'm saying you didn't like it because I came out and I was like,
You were buzzing.
I really fucking like
Yeah.
that film. But we should watch it with you, right? Yeah, good.
but everything needs to be
Good.
That's it. Let's
Excellent.
get that
What
sorted.
do you think? No.
Squared away.
Good. Watch it with you. Absolutely.
Do you know what though? Like that's the fucking mind of an alky where I'm just like, I was with you, right?
What?
Because otherwise, I was with fucking Jeremy Renner.
Guys,
if it wasn't you, it was Renner.
Guys, was I safe?
Yeah.
Did I have clothes on? Did I have my jumper on?
Did I look like I was having a good time?
What did my insides look like? Did I have any boiled sweets? You had a quarter of pineapple cubes.
So the award for best new comedy and necessary post-Marvel cinematic universe inception. Why?
10 Cloverfield Lane. It's because I may not have liked it as much as everyone else, but in this current climate where everything has to be a universe, so it's not sequels anymore. It's what's the universal
Shared universe.
What's the monsters one?
Well, it's just the Universal Monsters.
Such a boring, like this constant idea that everything has to cross over
I
with
hate that.
everything
It's
else.
like I really like the original Universal Monsters films a lot. Like it's the thing I was really into. I'd be so happy if they just made really good standalone movies
Exactly.
with interesting directors. It doesn't benefit, but I can see from marketing they go like, oh, because it means if you watch that one, you watch another
You
one.
like another one, yeah.
But as DC's shown, in the wrong hands,
You can-
it means
you can-
that
you
half
can
your film
sour-
ends up being a setup for other films.
Yeah. Also, you can
To be fair,
contaminate.
you can say that a lot about Marvel films, man.
Yeah, to an
Like-
extent, but I do feel like they at least have...
the quality is kind of there. Like they're usually pretty good. Because also the other side is like with Marvel, it's like if you do one good one, you raise something else up.
Yeah.
If something's crap, you contaminate your other stuff.
Yeah.
Because if something's crap, then you're like, holy shit, this one's got
ruined it.
really good
Yeah.
out. Like, and especially if you've got like,
It's like-
maybe two of the if you haven't got Captain America and Iron Man going like in the same year or within months of each other, then like you're gotta be thinking
Well,
like,
it's
oh,
like
shit,
the insane
man.
popularity of Deadpool. Fox will be going, oh, let's hitch everything to him now.
Yeah.
So that will have this like distorting effect.
Yeah.
Hopefully not. Yeah.
But this is the thing, like 10 Cloverfield Lane might not have done what I wanted it to do as a film, but it sets up a universe where I actually give a shit about what they're trying to do with those films, because they at least share one facet of the Marvel thing, which is try new interesting directors, so Dan Trachtenberg in this case, and try new genres. Like Cloverfield and 10 Cloverfield Lane are functionally different films.
Because even though that apparently that film is retrofitted to
Yes.
be a Cloverfield, like if their whole model for that universe is just like
Make a film,
smaller,
man. Yeah.
but like smaller budget films that are kind of a bit different,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Have you heard what next year's one is?
The
So
God Particle one.
Yeah,
That's-
God
that's
Particle.
Has not been junked, maybe.
So it was revealed to be probably a Cloverfield film.
Right.
And then they removed it from their release schedule and on the same day put a new Cloverfield film
okay.
on
Right, okay,
in its
yeah,
place.
But I'm totally fine with them. Like, if they can say to young directors, like, you want to make this content movies, just give us a few lines to like tie it in with the thing, and then you fucking go for it.
But those
Because that
If
film.
you're making an alien movie, make your alien a Cloverfield alien.
Yeah. Like you could watch. I won't say like.
But
what
we'll
happens,
give
but,
you
like,
20 million more
like,
for effects.
Yeah.
You can watch 10 Cloverfield Lane as a film that doesn't exist in the 10 in Cloverfield universe.
it would be better
But-
if you hadn't seen Cloverfield. Like that's
Yeah,
kind of its deal.
absolutely,
Like it would be
man, yeah.
I wasn't the thing that
Holy
annoyed
shit! Imagine if you hadn't seen Cloverfield, it wasn't called 10, and it was all
Exactly.
called 10 Cloverfield.
You would
Lane.
lose
didn't
your
know
mind
what
at the
Cloverfield
end.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
the thing
imagine
that
That'd be
thing
so
that annoyed
good.
me was I knew what the ending was.
Yeah.
From the title is a spoiler.
Yeah.
Like, and that's annoying, but I'm kind of fine with
because the
them-
least surprising thing is that bit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that idea of like let's just make different films every time, and they just happen to be set in the same
Yeah.
place. Like God Particle's synopsis, which is a load of people on a space station see Earth disappear. It just blinks out of existence, and then another European spacecraft starts coming towards them, and they don't know whether they can trust them or what's going on. That sounds like a fascinating
that's cool.
sci-fi movie.
I like that.
And now I want to know why that's in the Cloverfield universe as well. Everything is serving everything else.
I'm very on board with that being like an annual event.
Yeah.
like
That's cool,
as a
yeah.
banner term, like it's like Twilight Zone. Like some will be hit and miss, but the
Yeah.
good ones will be really good.
But it feels like that's less cheap than going, Dracula and Frankenstein in the same universe, by the way.
Yeah.
Like,
Also, have you heard what they've said as well? Like they also exist in a universe where Dracula doesn't exist as a popular character.
brilliant, that's good.
And it's just like,
That's some fucking balls, man.
just-
Or at least like, because the thing is like, even though we're saying, retrofitting is okay, like we're actually, if you're a young director and you've got a cool idea for a movie, okay, we're gonna make that movie. Okay, how can we make that into the Cloverfield universe? Like that actually doesn't sound like it would be good. But like in the same way, when it's like a multi-million-pound thing and it's Dracula, like, and then you just go,
But also, like-
is it good? Oh, it's not good. They didn't like it. Right, he's not in the universe anymore.
But also, there's something
Like-
fundamentally about that property that is
Yeah.
not action orientated. The worst thing about that book is when people are running around trying to kill stuff. The best thing is when you're in someone's house
Yeah.
and
You're
staying
scared.
as a guest. Like they don't work as action movies.
Yeah.
Because who you rooting for? Like they want the monsters to carry
Bullshit,
over to be
yeah.
a team. I don't know what that is.
Yeah,
Or you're
I'll
just
ask
gonna have
me-
like
A team against who?
Loads of hero. What are they doing?
Yeah, to be fair, like,
Like,
Al asked me in the pub the other day, he was just like, will you generally defend anything Welsh? And I was like, no, I generally won't. Like, if I don't like something, I don't like it. And he was like, what about Dracula Untold? I was like, that's one of the worst pieces of shit I've ever seen. Like,
Also, just really, really, really pointless.
Yeah. And
like
boring.
dumb. Like
boring.
yeah.
Like, but I think you say, like, action. Why are they making it action? Like, the I Frankenstein thing. Like, why does
Dracula's
that
an
need
action
to be
hero.
an action hero? Like,
It's nuts.
bonkers. Like, absolutely bonkers.
That's
But
why
yeah.
Cloverfield's good.
Yes. So the award for best new completely unnecessary post Marvel Cinematic Universe Inception, 10 Cloverfield Lane. Daniel.
All right. So you said pick your favorite thing of the year. So I've picked my favorite thing of the year.
But I said hide it underneath an
I
award
have,
thing,
and
so
it's-
we don't have to call it that.
and it's called Best Game is a Talking. My best game is about a talking gorilla, a robot ninja, and a Brazilian DJ.
And don't forget the most unrealistic thing of all time, a lesbian.
A
as
British
well.
lesbian.
A British lesbian. What? Excuse me.
He doesn't know. Can you imagine if he just really was a disgusting human? And he's just like, she's what?
Suddenly
Who's
revealed.
that? Julie Cooper.
Who's that? Reinhardt.
So
Reinhardt's a fucking letter.
because it is is Overwatch,
Yeah.
which obviously has become a thing on the show. We talk about it a lot, but like, I'm not going to talk about the game in specific, so it's alienating. But just in general, like I remember early in the year, being very honest, we were asked to do a live stream of Overwatch, and I paid it no attention whatsoever, and we all kind of like played it a little bit, and we're like, we've played it enough that
Yeah.
we can play it on a live stream, and we kind of bumbled our way through it. It was like, oh, this is fun, no, it's all right.
Yeah.
And I knew not very much about it, I had not paid attention to it, I didn't play any other Blizzard games, he's played
Yeah.
StarCraft a bit back in the day. And if you told me in the beginning of the year my favourite game this year would be an online multiplayer shooter,
Yeah.
I told you to fuck off.
Yeah.
Because you'd be a liar, and it absolutely
even
is.
worse than that, like,
absolutely is. I
Like,
can't
do you remember we went
believe
to that fucking unboxing? Like, you were one of my best friends, but like, we probably fell out a little bit doing that
Yeah.
Let's Play, doing the unboxing. So I was like, I don't like doing an unboxing. But I was like, I don't even know what this game fucking is.
We don't know
I
enough
was
about it.
like-
And
I was
now,
like, I don't know what this game is.
and now,
Why am I
now,
gonna do
also
this?
now
Like-
suddenly in my head, I have so much information about this thing a year ago I knew nothing about.
I wish we could go back and do that unboxing now and just be
Oh.
like, oh my god, look at this fucking postcard.
You wanking off. Gav's got a chub on, hasn't he?
Even the fucking soldier
I know.
model, which
I
is
actually, that's really cool.
bullshit,
Actually,
like-
now I'm like, I'm gonna put on my desk.
Yeah, we all got given.
I played 20 hours playing Solitaire.
Like we all got given those like the special edition. I was just like, I'm.
But also think,
whatever.
like, but also we went to the launch party of Overwatch, and
Yeah.
there was like a real life Tracer running around. Man,
Fuck
when
off.
now?
Yeah.
She was
Oh.
quite a crap tracer there.
Although to be fair, we'd be like, what would
She
you
was
do?
quite
You're
bad.
gonna try and get off of it because that's a wasted night. We know
Method.
now.
But like, we've played that every lunchtime.
It's so good.
All of us.
I haven't,
like,
played as much as you guys because I didn't play
Like,
lunchtimes. But
genuinely, like, I think approaching 95% of our lunchtimes since May
I've been playing
have
that.
been playing Overwatch. Nothing else. We don't
And then,
go out.
Like, we don't
make
play
friends
any
with
other
anyone else in
games.
the
Like,
office.
also, like we stay sometimes after work and play until like the other day after our Christmas party. We came back to the office
2 a.m.
and we stayed till 2 a.m. playing it.
Yeah.
like phenomenal. What an incredible, and also like the variety in that game comes from just what happens in that game.
Yes.
There's actually not that many maps.
It doesn't matter.
And there's 2 modes essentially.
It kind of feels like
2.5.
it doesn't matter.
2.5. And that doesn't matter because it's like sport, and it sounds really wanky, but it is. It's like every match is different, and like
no one's playing FIFA and going, this is fucking boring.
Same again, yeah.
No
same
mode.
pitch. But we
took out indoor mode from 95.
It was amazing.
It was really good.
Was it
98?
98, yeah.
98.
And we
Cup,
actually had our best match the other night. Like my best moment was like we were 2-0 down in a competitive. We came back for 3-2, and it's the first time like we ran up and hugged each other.
We pushed over our chairs.
Yeah, because it was like the elation. It was like we won the World Cup essentially, and it was brilliant. And no game has done that. And yeah, fair play.
It's genuinely,
Well done, Jeff.
Maybe the best I've ever felt playing a video game. Like actual sense of achievement for doing something.
What about did it make you feel like this was inside your guts though?
Did it validate me?
Yeah. Did it validate?
It definitely validated.
Did it validate your
I
guts?
actually thought I was good at something.
Genuinely, as someone who joined this team this year, it has fundamentally helped me become a part of the team.
So it is your guts.
Like I said, right up in my guts.
This is good. I want to carry on.
That's
with guts.
lovely.
No, but like it's we're all very good friends, and there's no way that we'd be as good friends if it wasn't for the fact that I occasionally scream at you and rage quit because of Overwatch.
I think we should also say let's go in, but you probably get the most agitated.
I'm very
Overwatch.
bad for that.
Yeah,
because also
and I don't get like that with anything else.
Also, sometimes because that's the thing with Overwatch. It's like if you don't play it in the right way, you'll get absolutely punished.
Yeah.
And sometimes people kind of lose their heads a bit, maybe, and like kind of like not pay attention to what they're meant to be doing. Joe makes no bones about what's happening. I've got good, but also,
I'm a
I
villain.
think also what's slightly different as well is I sit opposite you at work, and your screens are slightly apart,
Yes.
so I can see your eyes. And sometimes we play Overwatch, look at you, and you're like very far away, look in his eyes.
So that is the award for the game with a talking gorilla, robot ninja, and Brazilian DJ, and a British lesbian goes to Overwatch.
Do you think it's the best thing of the year? What's the best thing of the year?
It is a beautiful, positive,
It's so
happy.
interesting you say that because we're about to go over to I've literally called the best things ever. Not just the best things of the year, Joe.
Fair play.
The best things ever.
None of which are Overwatch.
None of them which are Overwatch.
But I think it might be the best thing ever.
I think it's my Is it my favourite bit of media of the year?
I think it's
might
such
be.
a happy,
It's your
joyous,
most
beautiful
enjoyed.
thing.
Yeah, I think
Most
it might.
enjoyed bit of
Yeah,
media.
I think it
absolutely.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing close to that.
Arrival came close in terms of like just sheer like.
But
fuck
you put
me.
more into Overwatch, though, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But necessarily.
Daniel, I'm going to start
You
with
see, like you got to his flat. He's got loads of these circle ink blots.
I
am communicating.
I know someone who's got one of those commissioned as a Christmas present, and it looks incredible. And
That's
it makes
a
me
really
really
nice
annoyed.
present.
Makes
They're too
me
good at
so
presents.
annoyed. Yeah.
That is good. Do you know what isn't a good present? And I saw someone do before, and I think it's awful. It's getting your favourite song as a waveform framed.
Oh, fuck
Do you know
that.
who did,
off.
do you know who did that?
No.
Someone we used to work with.
Who's it?
Someone you sat next to.
Beer Park! Beer Park's a sweet guy, so he would get that done.
You can get that
Look
on.
at you.
I think it's fucking awful.
You can get that on Not on the High Street. You can just get it custom done.
Anything you can get on the fucking Not on the High Street, don't buy. Best things ever.
What
you
you
saying?
first? I'm going. One of my favorite things this year I've seen.
We should explain that these are things that aren't TV movies or
They're ridiculous
games.
My thing is-
actually, yours is a movie. To be fair,
Mine's a movie.
well, they're just funny things that have stuck with us and become
Yeah.
like
my thing
movies.
is generally like the thing that I've watched probably most.
Things I think
and
of.
I love.
Things I think
Like
of
more.
frequently.
Yeah.
This is the thing I
Like-
think of frequently.
Okay.
So in Suicide Squad, which is a big dog shit of a movie.
I think it's alright.
It's fine.
It's
It's alright. It's
No,
alright.
I know
thi-
it's bad.
like-
It's a
but
2-star
it's-
film. It's a 2-star
No,
film.
I think it's a 1-star film. Like
Anyway.
it's poor. Anyway,
We don't need this.
you saw it in the best circumstances. It's a absolute.
Off our fucking bombs.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like I watched it at 9:30 in the morning.
Gav hustling us more booze.
It barely makes sense. Like it's proper dog shit.
You watch at 9 o'clock in the
Yeah,
morning.
sober.
Fuck that.
It's properly bad.
Christ
Yeah,
alone.
we would have hated it if we saw it at 9
It's
o'clock in the
dog
morning.
shit.
Yeah.
And but there is a moment in that movie that makes me laugh, and even now in times of sorrow and misfortune, I think about it, and it brings me a little bit of hope.
Yeah.
And it is late on in the movie. It's been established. Killer Croc. He's in the movie. He's a man. He's also a crocodile. He can breathe. He can breathe underwater. Like, he lives in a cell that's been adapted so he can also submerge himself entirely.
Yeah.
And at the end of the movie, there's a plot point where somebody has to go into some water, and he's like, "I've got this." And
But before that, though, the Marines are discussing who's
can
going to
go.
go into the water.
Who can go.
And they're like, he's literally standing going, "What are you talking about? Oh, you're talking about going into the water?"
I know my I know my
Yeah.
tracksuit. My tracksuit is velour, but I don't mind it getting wet.
Yeah. I forgot he's got a
It's
velour
gonna go in. It's
tracksuit.
like that's gonna
Purple.
be. That's
It's purple.
It's like him.
He's like Zach Brannigan.
You know what that's like? It's like him. It's like
It's like
him
Zach Brannigan on his
velour.
day off.
But it's also like him, like at school when he comes in his pajamas to do swimming.
Yeah.
It's like, well, so what's the mission? You need to get this rubber brick from the bottom of this thing. So he's like, I can do this, and it's established throughout the movie. He's very humanoid.
Yeah.
Like, he walks on all fours. He walks on two legs, and at this moment in time,
someone's not human.
and at this moment, he just gets down on all fours and scuttles into the water with his bum wiggling in the air.
Yeah. Like someone impersonating a Dachshund.
And I can't believe
But it's a
somebody
man.
didn't watch the rushes and go, "That's ludicrous."
It's a man impersonating a crocodile getting into water.
Someone told a professional actor to do that.
Yeah.
Mr.
He's a good
Echo.
actor,
Mr.
man.
Echo.
He's Mr. Echo, yeah.
But that's mad.
It's
fantastic.
insane. Like,
Absolutely fantastic.
And you're right. It's the context around that action more than the action itself that makes that funny. Like, it's unbelievable
It's so
that it ever happened.
hilarious. I remember being in the screening at, like, by that time it would be like 10, 11 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Just bursting out laughing.
Yeah.
And laughing for a good 3 minutes.
If that was
If you think you laughed at it, imagine us on 6 pints watching
we
it.
lost our minds.
But that's the best
Also,
way to see
you
that
told
film.
us you told us to watch out for it as well.
That's the best way to watch that movie.
If that
Top
was
secret
a,
information.
if that was a better,
binder.
yeah. Called Top Secret.
that is one of the funniest.
That's the thing. That to be fair, like your Killer Croc thing was our top secret thing.
secret.
So basically, there's a folder in the film that says Top Secret on it, and it's kept in the lady who
Just a bag. Just a
a
lady's handbag.
which I'm pretty sure is marked Top Secret,
And it
as
sticks
well.
out the top.
Yeah, and they're like, "What is this?"
So fucking stupid.
which is really
but
good.
if Suicide Squad was a better film, that Killer Croc moment would be looked at in
Reckon?
the same way that Jeff Goldblum with his shirt open is in Jurassic Park.
But that's a,
you know when people see that.
That's an illusion, though, isn't it?
Hey, there's a
do you
bit. To be
Well,
fair,
it's the creation of man by Michelangelo.
Okay,
yeah.
but
That's what that is, though. Like,
yeah, but it's still ludicrous and hilarious.
it is ludicrous.
It's a
but,
mad
like,
decision.
They've gone for a reason. It's not accidentally.
I actually think
ludicrous.
I think the Goldblum thing is bulletproof. I don't think it's the same thing as the.
Oh, it's very funny and very incongruous. The idea,
hot,
like,
though, isn't
imagine the person who went,
Depends what you stand
let's
on
have
crocodile
Jeff
eyes."
Goldblum with an injury redo Michelangelo.
Oh no, it's
Like, it's
bonkers.
insane.
I'm
It's
I'm not
such a
saying
weird
it's
decision.
not bonkers, but yeah, you're right. Like, it's they've earned the way they've earned that
It
moment.
would you would look back on it with more fondness than incredulity if that was a better film around.
Absolutely, I don't disagree with that.
It's
at
a
all.
good, it's a funny
disagree.
decision.
Okay, so I feel like I'm going to do mine next because the last one is all three of us.
Yes.
But I'm going to say, like, one of the best things, like, I genuinely think one of the best things ever this year was a tweet that someone did, which was a very, very small bit. I don't even know where the documentary is from. I don't care. But it's a documentary.
You might want to find out. There might be more of it.
Oh, can you imagine? But it's basically about Studio Ghibli's Miyazaki, not Dark Souls Miyazaki. Different people. Lazy. That's basically like Jones over there. Like...
Why does it have to be Welsh?
Because it is. Because it's a very well-known name. But it's basically him sitting down in a small animation studio, and they've got Miyazaki and they've got another person from Studio Ghibli in, and they're presenting them with this cool thing that they've made. They've presented them with it, and his reaction... They obviously think that his reaction is going to be like, "Oh, dude, this is fucking brilliant."
Yeah.
His reaction is not. It's like, basically, if "oh, dude, this is fucking brilliant" is like here, like what his reaction is a million miles on a different planet, in a different galaxy, in a different universe.
On fire.
Like, and it's on fire and it's covered in sick.
Shit.
And it's literally the most preeminent person in that industry
Yeah,
in
absolutely.
history.
So
Like,
you're
this
an
is the
animation-
most
Yeah,
important person.
Walt Disney's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're working in animation. You're showing it to the person who's like top of that game. It's like you working in rap and
For
showing
the
it to
last 50
Nas.
years.
Like
I think that's undermining
Nas's achievements.
Yeah.
You were gonna get that one.
Yeah.
But it's basically like, you know, the person you want most to have an attaboy off, and what happens is not an attaboy. And
No. Should we say, like, we should say what he says? Because
Yeah, I
it's,
don't care.
it's,
Like, it's not a
particular.
spoiler. I think,
No.
to be fair, like
It's-
spoiler
it's-
for films, games, and TV. I don't think
Just
it's
say
a
what he
minute and a
says.
half long tweet video.
But what's so what's for me? What's
You imagine
what,
someone's like fuming, absolutely
So,
fuming.
I got a minute in.
so what? To bring this to life for people, what I love about it, so it's such a considered takedown,
Yeah.
and it starts off quite interestingly.
And
So
what
you
they-
don't
so
know
what
if it's
they-
gonna,
yeah,
you don't know
so-
if it's gonna be negative.
So what they're showing is, I mean, it does look shite, to be honest. It's basically
But it's
like,
like-
a lump,
no,
it's,
it's such
it's a
a
lump
te-
of gravy browning moving around on the floor.
This is why you're on Miyazaki's side in
Yeah,
this, because
absolutely.
you don't understand the craft.
So
It's
you
procedural
sound
animation.
just like
Yeah.
Pete then.
But it's like, it's a lump of gravy browning on the floor.
So what-
gyrating around. And
so-
literally, if you saw that in the street, I would go up and kick it in the head.
It's-
Because I'd be like, that needs to die.
So nobody's listening to this knowing what we're on about. So there's what is it? It's like it's a ragdoll body,
It's-
and it's
yeah.
a bit of physics AI, like
it's
a bit
deep,
of physics.
It's deep learning AI.
Yeah.
Like, it's genuinely
It's
top
actually really good,
level,
yeah, yeah. It's really
incredible
good, yeah.
programming. They've created an AI that has worked out how to move with a humanoid body.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the way it's decided to learn to move is by using its head.
But they've said, oh, this could be applied like in a horror game,
Yeah.
or something like that. So,
Like,
and then
yeah, so like I think their end game is to make a thing that can draw like a human.
no. That's the weird thing about that clip for me. So they say
'Cause
that
that's not what the clip
well,
is.
that's the
No.
thing. That's the weird thing. It's like they pitched the initial thing, which is like this bit of like horror tech.
Yeah.
you can use in a horror game. And Miyazaki then comes in, and it's very considered. And we've used this as a byword for criticism in the office. If you don't like an idea, he goes, I know, which I think is like, well, and then
Yeah.
he goes into this like very considered bit of description about his friend who's disabled.
He says, I've seen it so many times. He says, every morning, not for in recent years, but I used to go visit my friend who had a physical disability every day.
And he can't even high five.
He can't
Yeah.
even high five, and that's upsetting to me. But the person who's made this has never known real pain.
Yeah, and he goes, I think this is an insult to life itself.
Fundamentally
That's the line.
misunderstanding the entire project. Like, I am so against
No, but that's,
Miyazaki in this
that's the
video.
line, though. I think this is insult to life itself. And at this moment, the guy pans from Miyazaki to this jabroni who's done this key point, and he just looks like helpless. He just like pats his face.
Also, he thought going in, he's texted his girlfriend on the way in going,
Presents Miyazaki.
Presenting Miyazaki today. Here we go. Gonna get wanked off in a boardroom because I've made this fucking slug monster. This is gonna be great.
Slug monster?
the fucking creative spirited away. The reason I got into this bullshit in the first place is basically gonna suck me off in front of all my mates.
I know.
And he gets in and he goes, I know this is an insult to life itself. But I was showing me a meme yesterday that he'd made that's going up on Friday, and he goes, can you have a look at this? I put the headphones on. I watched it, I just went, I know. And like, I was fucking lost his mind.
But then what I think is almost weird about that whole thing is he does that. He puts the guy down. He goes back to the guy. He's just like, well, we didn't mean that. And then the other guy guy from Ghibli goes, so what are we trying to do with this project? And out of nowhere, this other jabroni says, we're trying to make a machine that replaces people who can draw. Why are you saying that to them?
Yeah.
Don't say that to them of all the people.
Their reaction is like, are you? You fucking make an eye.
But what's the cutaway?
Well,
When-
exactly. It cuts away to Miyazaki.
he's
and all
drawing.
he says,
He's
he's drawing.
drawing.
He's just like, I firmly believe we're coming towards the end of
I'm-
times.
We've lost our way as humans.
So weird. Like,
But it's just like, whatever you are.
No one's
whatever-
overreacting in this
the most,
situation.
the most
whatever-
hopeful, beautiful creations that are, of recent history are Studio Ghibli, and the guy who makes them is like, we're all fucked because no one's as cool as me.
It's like,
yeah,
literally,
anyone
like-
seen that other film that my son made?
Yeah.
Absolutely. End
Like,
times.
Guys, whatever people at home, like whatever you do as a job, imagine doing whatever you do as a job, going to your boss and being like, all right, or going to someone who's like, you know,
Your hero. It's more than just your boss. It's your
Go to the
idol.
person who's like number one in your field of work.
Like the greatest dad in the
Yeah.
world.
And you go to them, all right, I've made this thing. What do you think about it? And that man says to you, while he's looking in your eyes, this is an insult to life
He
itself.
looks from your work to you. He draws a line.
Yeah. And he
between you
literally
and
says,
it.
not only that there's a camera on you as well, but he says, this is an insult to life
What,
itself.
you like this?
I think it's one of the funniest
But you think it's funny,
I've
but
ever
you
seen in my life.
think it's out of order, though?
It
Do you know
makes
what? I
me
genuinely don't think it's out of order at
It
all.
makes me furious watching it because he so fundamentally misunderstands what
What it
they've
is,
made.
'cause
That's not
imagine if
Miyazaki's
someone-
fault though, because it's
No,
been
but
pitched to
imagine if
him
like,
as
someone says that to me
No, it's
exactly
because he's
50
a
years
fucking codger who doesn't understand
Yeah.
computers. He's only ever drawn shit with his hands. Now he's making CG in his dotage.
Yeah.
Bollocks.
I think it's fine.
Get rid.
I think it's fine.
I hate
No,
him.
because like,
I think it's
what if someone did that to
Loads of
Miyazaki?
respect
I think it's
for him.
absolutely fine.
Well, someone said that to Miyazaki 50 years ago. They wouldn't have understood his style. Oh. No, big fan. You know what?
Someone
You know
fucking
what?
get out of
You know,
this
you like? You know what?
Don't
Fan,
affect me.
you know what? Cruz, not big fan of
I
Porco
know.
Rosa. Shit, what is it? Flying pig.
Porco Rosso is
Bullshit.
an absolute pile of shit.
You should have said. Do you think it's pile of shit or an insult to life itself?
That's different.
Different. I think there's some merriments we had. Flying pig.
So that's our second award for the best thing ever this year, and I mean that ain't getting beat next year.
What?
You don't know that.
Unless
yet.
Miyazaki goes to watch some other shit he done like. Imagine him in a restaurant like, what's this?
You know what?
What was your intentions with his sandwich?
You know what I'd love to see? Miyazaki on Miyazaki. Show Dark Souls to.
He'd hate it.
He'd hate it.
Imagine the zombie dragon.
Although, to be fair, I bet they were going out there. Do you reckon they went out and they were like, I thought it was the other Miyazaki you were bringing in.
Well, that's the thing.
I
That's the
thought it was
thing.
the Dark
It
Souls
does
one.
look-
No,
He'd
but
have
that-
fucking loved
It
that.
does look
that's the
like the
thing.
ragdoll ghouls.
That's the thing. You sent me that clip. You said it's Miyazaki, and I started watching it. I thought it was going to be
Yeah.
Hidetaka because it's like it seems more appropriate.
What
Yeah.
if Japanese people are just as racist as us? And they were like,
Against
like,
themselves?
the animation studio is like,
Oh, that's wrong one, isn't
It's
it?
like we want to meet him with Miyazaki. They were like, the guy's like, I fucking know him. Like my sister's married to him. Absolutely fine. I'll bring him in now. I'll bring him in tomorrow. Get all your shit ready. Brings him in. He's like, oh, we meant the other one.
Does feel
And they
like
were
that. It's like,
and they
oh,
were like,
you've used
well,
this in a
we've got
horror
him here
game.
now. We've got him here. Like, do you want to show me anyway? He's like, it's not really his thing though, is it? Like he likes to draw with pencils and shit. Like we do a computer zombie gravy monsters. Like what should we do? Should we send him away? He's like, I've made him a cup of tea now, so I'm not sending him away. You send him away because you're editing.
It's not going badly. Who's filming it? I'll film it.
He's like, fucking hell, film it. I'll put it on. Be the best tweet that IGN has seen this year.
So guiltiest laughter goes to us.
Yeah, I think if you
If you like the misery of others, definitely check that.
if you
clip out.
Google Miyazaki epic takedown,
It is really funny, don't get me wrong. I don't like Miyazaki in it at all.
and I think that's where I want to be. Okay, so the best thing ever this year, then forget all the other awards that we've given out this year, and the best thing ever goes to a video. I didn't even check if it was out this year. I just put it on the list.
We saw it
So-
this year, so it's fine.
It
We
was
saw
the
it
thing
this
that
year.
most affected our team
Yeah,
in a
there's a thing-
visceral way.
And it's a video of a man in America who thinks that he's seen some aliens.
I'm gonna look it up now because
what we
it
need to-
keeps getting taken down off YouTube.
What
But
we
I
need
found
to
a
do
new
though
link.
is
Why
we
does it
need-
get taken down?
I think it belongs to
It's not
someone.
racist, is it?
No,
It's been on
no,
the
racist.
you know why? Government don't want us to know.
They call it damn news.
What
so
we,
it's basically
what we
like
need to do is though make this very easy for people listening to find because
Yeah.
I struggle finding it when I want to watch
yeah.
it,
I've
which is like every day.
long searches
maybe we can
in
like,
work
do a
hours.
we'll do a thing on the news story. Maybe we'll be like,
We'll
by
embed
the,
it.
by the way,
We'll embed it. Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Why not? Do what I want.
if you take it down tomorrow.
Here we go.
But
So the current best link for this video is called Guy freaks out over alien invasion.
That's not easy to find.
It's got 3,287 views at time
It's
of
never
recording.
gone properly viral, has it?
Well, I think it has, but I think it was designed because it's very square. I think it was an Instagram video.
Right.
Okay.
I think that's where it's blown up, and then it's been ripped and put
people
on.
have just
Got you,
stolen
got you,
it.
got
Okay, right. So it's basically a man freaking out because he thinks aliens are coming to the world.
So it's filmed on a phone. He's looking at the sky, and there's some mysterious lights in the sky. And what you get is his very audible commentary over what's happening. It's brilliant commentary. It's second by second. He's living and dying in those words.
Every single thing he says is a separate quote that we have said in the office.
So also, I think the context of why we love this so much is very situated where we were when we first watched it together, and it's very funny. So we were all at Gamescom in Germany in August, and I think you find it first?
Rory found it, I
Rory.
think.
Okay, yeah.
And then we started watching it in the room that we were all working in, like with our American colleagues. And we watched it all together, and we watched it several times, very loudly. And
Bear in mind, this is the same day that the fucking Metal Gear
Survive
trailer dropped, and all the we'd already seen the trailer, but like everyone was like freaking out watching that trailer, and we were like, yeah, it's pretty good. Cut to 20 minutes later,
Aliens!
there's a dude who's seen some aliens going mad, and we are reacting to that better than the Americans reacted to.
we
Metal
were
Gear
in
Survive.
hysterics, and I think they were looking at it going, "Are they? Is that what
Why are they in it?
Are they with us?
It's a security.
Are they allowed to drink our Fanta?"
Yeah. They've had too much.
And then
Fanta.
also, I remember later on in the evening, like on one of the last days when we were out in the central square of Cologne getting hammered, and then we were watching it on a phone, drinking cocktails.
Yes.
And just saying it, like screaming it.
We'd had we should point out, we'd had long evenings, like for 3 days.
Because we work the hardest.
We do work the hardest. And we
we
play the
stay up the
hardest.
most.
And watching
It's
that,
networking.
like
Yeah,
to just
with each other.
but
to just
Stronger team. Who's stronger? Our team, your team.
who's seen the aliens video most? Us.
That's absolutely the case.
I know.
But just to like, I know. So just like destroyed brains,
Yeah.
like it's just the greatest thing. Like it's so good.
That's the thing. Like, yeah, I mean, we probably did that week on maybe like 6 hours sleep.
You did.
6 hours.
You did some insane.
Well,
things
do
that
you, also,
week.
do you remember, like in that week, going to
do you remember?
Oh,
The
well.
answer is no.
going to the little petrol station in Cologne, opposite the hotel, and we were buying
Are we telling
beers.
this?
And
We've talked about this on the
we were
podcast.
opening
Have
the,
we?
be-
We talked about this on the,
opening the
uh,
beers before we bought them.
Yeah, we talked about this on Games podcast. We don't need to go over it again.
Did we? Oh, okay, fair enough.
We did.
But again, I think that helps the mindset. So you watch
Yeah.
this video; it's the greatest video ever made. If you want to really get the full boot of that video,
Imagine
do
Gav
all that. Go to
shouting
Cologne.
at a young German shopkeeper, "Are you fucking high, bro?" As if like the American.
That's actually another good moment of 2016.
Yeah, write that down. Let's
I'm
go
putting that as
down.
my fourth
Is that
highlight.
before Killer Croc?
Should we listen to some of it?
No. Let people listen. Let them enjoy it. Let them enjoy
Guy
the
freaks
thing.
out over alien invasion.
Yeah,
It's
we'll
genuinely one of the
embed
best.
it in the story.
Find it, show it your
Like-
family over Christmas.
And that is the IGN UK 2016 awards. I mean, if this is how the Oscars started, next year we should be in tuxes. I think that's-
I would actually love to have worn tuxes,
absolutely want
apart
tuxes.
from the
That jumper is
heat.
too hot.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
We need to put the aircon on next year.
well, we could do
Noise
do that
cancel.
thing where we like. Well, you maybe I can't either. But I was gonna say like I'll
trousers.
wear like tux top, nothing bottom.
Shorts.
Just have a
Not
tablecloth
nothing.
on this.
Not nothing. Shorts.
Nothing, Danielle. But thank you very much for listening to the IGN UK podcast in 2016. There's another podcast next week. None of us are on it, so skip that. Go to maybe the one after. No.
I know.
Listen, I know. Listen to that. But guys, before you go,
What?
what are you?
I genuinely thought that was it.
I thought it was it. I really need a wee as well.
That's going to
guys-
inject some nervous tension.
Pen doesn't work.
I literally forgot about it till I looked at the page.
Yeah, all right.
This year, I introduced a game called Keyword Countdown.
Is it only this year?
Yeah, it was only this
Feels
year.
like it's been around forever.
You haven't been here a year.
No, I know, but I thought it had been
Feel-
around for a long
feels
time
like it's been
before I
around longer.
joined.
Still
It's
well
one of those
established.
games. It's one of those games. It's one of those
Like
games.
chess
so
and,
good.
Chess and mahjong.
Okay, so I invented a game called Keyword Countdown, and basically there are a bunch of weird keywords on IMDb that refer to different films.
You always call them crazy keywords.
yeah, crazy.
And you
keywords.
called them weird this
Yeah.
week, and it's really put me off.
You haven't got your pat down.
I am pissed. I need a pee. So every week, what I've done is I've taken 10 keywords for 5 different films, and I've tasked you guys and everyone else in the office with guessing what those films are. The game has been
Rip-roaring success.
warmly,
In some parts.
Considered.
Received.
Received. That's what I was looking for. Although, to be fair, Alicia the
I
day.
warmly consider.
Was that the email we got this week?
Yeah.
Like,
What was that about?
I don't get fucking feedback, IGN UK feedback, because I'm sure you can understand why. But Alicia was like, "Oh, Gav, have you seen this IGN UK feedback?"
Don't tell him.
As
No.
as you know, Alicia, I don't, because we've had many conversations about why I'm not allowed to have it. And she was like, "Oh, listen to this one. I skip keyword countdown every week. Thank you."
Don't say
And I was
that.
like,
Don't get that in your head.
it was
before
literally in
show.
the morning as well. I was like, "Oh, cheers."
Day's done.
I've got to do
There
the
you
last
go.
one today, so
That's
good.
9 hours of my life that is going to be spent inside my head going, "Yeah, you are shit though, aren't you?" Like Alicia said. Anyway, Alicia, don't read out horrible stuff about me.
Worst
Guys,
thing of the year. That guy.
worst prick of the year, that guy. Okay, here we go, guys. So this, to be fair, you guys have been top. You guys are the best performers all the way through. Joe is like really far ahead.
Is he?
No, but only in points. In average, I think Krupa's still ahead of me.
It's
We can't do average, otherwise the person who plays the most
I'll
wins.
give you a little breakdown. So, Joe, you've played 10 times. Krupa, you've played 7 times.
Okay.
So it's not actually that bad.
Okay.
Your films guessed, Joe, you've guessed 28. Krupa, you've guessed 13.
Okay. Ooh.
Points is 131 to Joe. Krupa, 50.
Ooh.
If I'd had more time, I would have worked out an average.
That's a lot.
But,
I've done all right there.
yeah.
I'm okay.
But, I'm basically going to say, because you guys are the top,
I'm happy for this to be a decider.
whoever wins this...
No, that's unfair.
Champion.
On the
No,
season. Okay.
What do you mean it's unfair? What,
It's
on the,
just-
on the man
it's-
who organises the tournament?
It's playoffs. It's playoffs.
This is the playoffs.
Playoffs.
You guys have
You
both
support
made it in the
Blackburn, you
playoffs.
get playoffs.
This is the Super Bowl. This is the Super
Premier League,
Bowl.
mate, that's not playoff, is it? That's over a season.
This is the Super Bowl of keyword countdown.
Keyword countdown. Time for keyword countdown. It's keyword countdown. Time for keyword countdown. It's keyword countdown.
Film number 1.
I'm going to sack you.
Neo-noir.
Blade Runner.
Conspiracy.
LA Confidential.
Oh, Inherent Vice.
Falling off balcony.
Vertigo.
Profanity.
Fuck. Off balcony.
Armcast.
Oh, God, what?
Fugitive.
7 Psychopaths?
Sense of smell. Ah! Disposing of a dead body. Enemies become allies. Private investigator.
Nice Guys?
Yes.
I haven't seen that film. What's the sense
done.
of smell about?
I'm telling you.
Our pens.
So these are Gab's favourite films of
You're
2016. then.
writing nothing.
That's right, I can see. Two
He's
Joe.
etching.
Two Joe. I know, my pen's gone. What am I going to do? Walk away? No, I'm a professional, Daniel. I'll deal with it later. Do the fucking pencil thing on it. Well done, Joe. That's
tree
two,
ball.
that's 2 points to you. Film number 2. New York City. Hitting the groin. Obscene finger gesture.
What?
Selfie stick.
Oh, Big Short.
Face slap. TV news.
Good morning.
You need to call it damn news.
Bare-chested male.
What is this?
Paranormal phenomena.
Ghostbusters?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Well done, Joe.
He's on it.
They're not my favourite films of the year, by the way.
Okay. They're films from 2016. Surely.
I've got to do it deep, otherwise the pencil
I gotta do it deep.
Okay, film number 3.
You ever do it
sorry,
deep?
yeah. I should say the other ones. Film number 1, private investigator, porn industry. Film number 2, paranormal phenomena, ghost hunting equipment, feminism.
Is feminist.
Here we go. Film number 3, cyber warfare,
Independence Day Resurgence.
cryptography,
Arrival.
responsibility,
The Imitation Game?
One word title.
Imitation.
Character name in title.
Snowden.
Sign language.
Snowden.
Yes. Shit.
Joe's on it, man.
Well done, Joe. It's 5 points for that, Joe. Yes. But remember, Cooper, he's only got 10 points. So literally, by getting the next one, you go level.
Okay.
Absolutely fine.
The next clue.
Fucking a lot of pressure on one word, isn't it?
Okay. Film. Oh, I'll go through the rest of them, sorry. Clue number 6, sign language. Abuse of power. Spying. Divisive issue. WikiLeaks.
Divisive issue.
That's clue number 9.
That's almost all films.
That's clue number 9. You could tell I had a B at that point. I was like, it's divisive.
Cumberbatch played Assange in a movie, didn't he? I don't remember.
Yes.
What's that called?
Goggle-eyed freak.
No one cared about that film. Anyway,
Australian.
Okay.
just want to make sure I imagine
Okay.
that.
Film number 4. Sea Battle. Voice over narration. Adopted brother. Forgiveness.
It wasn't the new 300, was it?
Stadium.
Was that this year?
Sword and sandal.
Ben-Hur.
Yeah.
Bollocks.
Well done. Pen's working! And we started talking about God.
How is that your first thought?
That's mad, because that pen has not worked.
To be fair,
There you
I
go.
can attest.
Wow. Sword and
wow.
sandal. Leper colony. Reference to God. Jewish. Pontius Pilate.
Is that how you've spelt Pontius Pilate, or is that the key word?
That's me.
Okay.
How do you spell it?
Oh, it's not like that. Isn't it? No. He's not an actual pilot. He doesn't fly planes.
Well, he is there.
You should go to church more, baby.
Baby.
Come with me.
Me too.
Hey,
Okay,
baby.
so it's 10-5.
Oh, if you get 6 or more, you win.
Yeah, 6.
Is this the last one?
It's the last one.
Oh, I really need a wee as well.
I really need to fucking piss. Don't worry. Well, as soon as we end this, we're going.
All right.
Okay.
I'm sanguine.
Here we go.
Let's go.
Film number 5. And what I'll do, right? Because I don't want it to come down to.
You better not say it's double points.
No, dude. Don't. Oh, actually, should I?
No.
No, just the...
Should I tell you where the link is?
No.
No.
That's fine. It's more drama and just doing this
fine.
one.
Okay, if you guys can tell me the link afterwards.
It's more pure
When it
keyword.
comes down to it, if you get 5, then one of you will tell me the link.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's beautiful.
That's
Yeah.
pure keyword.
Even better. Pure keyword.
Don't change the rules for the final.
Okay.
I respect
Good,
you.
yeah.
That's why you're a good component. Opponent.
Component
Cutting
in
all
the
that out,
equation.
so it sounds like you're saying that to me. I'm not, because Dale's editing this. Film number 5. Oh, actually, I'll give you the things of this. Oh, I'm so pissed.
Are you really?
Yeah, I am
How
a
much have
bit.
you had?
I feel a bit as well.
2 beers and
Yeah,
whatever I've had of that. Okay, big beers though.
I'm a big one.
I do. Come on, I really need this week.
Sword and Sandal, Leper Colony, Reference to God.
You've already read these. How
Yeah,
pissed
oh
are you?
yeah, that's nuts.
Jesus
We literally
Christ.
just don't-
You- if you piss yourself, that's on you.
I'm not pissing myself. I'm a
Oh.
human. Okay, film number 5. Clue number 1. Danger.
Moana,
Fuck off.
Assassin.
Assassin's Creed.
Spy.
Oh my god, I'm so glad that wasn't right.
Missile.
Missile?
Male rear nudity.
Oh wait. Spectre.
Thick accent.
Bridge of Spies? No, that was last year.
Spectre this year.
No.
Infection.
Infection?
Arms dealer.
I've lost it. It's fine.
I don't know what this is.
Toilet humor.
What?
Brothers.
Oh, War Dogs?
What's that? What is that?
Remember as well, if none of you guess them, that is the best way the keyword countdown can go for the podcast, because everyone at the home is now shouting out Brothers Grimsby or Grimsby.
I've seen that.
You would never have thought of that.
Yeah,
so
that's 0
glad.
for that.
I love that you are pissed because you just went. Remember, if you don't guess the answers, that's the best it can go for other podcasts.
I think it's more than I need a wee. But anyway, yeah, so 10-5 that ends, guys.
Fair
Well
play,
done.
Joe.
It's been a good year.
Well done.
The Super Bowl of Keyword Countdown is over.
It ends in the way that the feedback listeners like least. I have been told that whenever I'm on it, Keyword Countdown's boring. So,
But thank you very much for listening to the IGN UK podcast in 2016, and there'll be a lot more in 2017.
fuck
Bye.
you. I'm a winner.